With a very sad heart, I need to inform you that yesterday the Supreme Court of India dismissed my petition which spoke about the threat to voter secrecy basis of the current election process, how we use the EVM and the entire process which is followed. Although the entire matter was very plain and simple, and just by reading the synopsis, one could have assessed that this is such a grave threat to every single voter's secrecy, which is what is the most sacrosanct aspect of any election. Imagine that you are going to cast your vote, and yet authorities which are conducting this election or anyone else with a vested interest can know who you voted for. Can you imagine what all can happen from there? Relationships can break, there can be vendetta, there can be the government can use it against you in innumerable ways. Today, your voter card is also linked with your Aadhaar card. Your Aadhaar card is linked with your phone number. Your phone number is linked with your social media. Your Aadhaar card is also linked with your PAN card, which means the IT department can also know who you are. And then there can be vendetta in innumerable ways. Your social media can be clamped down. There can be IT raids conducted against you. There can be innumerable things which can be done to ensure that the next time you vote for people who they want you to vote for. It is most unfortunate, and let me, in just a couple of minutes, explain to you the logic here, and then you tell me whether this petition should have been dismissed or not. So when you go into the voter booth, you first give a slip which is given to you either by your BLO or by a party, and you give that to the first polling officer. Now the first polling officer collects that slip, keeps it, and then checks your name in the voter list and strikes it off. Then you go to the second polling officer, who now registers your name, enters your name into a register 17A, and this entry is done in a sequential manner. This second polling officer issues you a official voter slip. The first one which you brought was just an identity slip, and it is not an official slip. The second polling officer is issuing you a voter slip and marking your index finger. Then you go to the third polling officer, who you present that slip with, which was just issued to you by the second polling officer. The third polling officer now keeps that slip again in sequential order and allows you to go and cast your vote. This officer is in charge of the control unit. The control unit is what also is known as the counting unit. This unit is what activates the unit which is the voting unit, where you go and press your button and cast your vote. Now the thing is, the next thing which happens is that once you cast your vote, a VVPAT slip is generated from the VVPAT machine, which is known as the voter verifiable paper audit trail. Now this slip which is generated, this slip is a time-stamped slip. Please understand this. And you leave this slip behind. This slip has the symbol of the candidate you voted for, the party you voted for, and it is time-stamped. You leave it behind. Next comes that after you see this, you leave, but you have left the biggest proof of who you voted for right in the machine. Now these machines, the three machines, the voting unit, the VVPAT, and the control/counting unit, all three have microcontroller chips. Now how does a microcontroller chip work? A microcontroller chip stores data like a stack of books, and you can, if you want, extract that data from that, and you can extract it even in an Excel format. And now you can match that with the entry, the sequential entry in the register 17A. There are also CCTV cameras installed in polling booths. Yes, they are for ensuring no tampering is happening, nobody else is casting a vote, but at the same time, people with a vested interest can use that camera feed to again identify who voted in which order. It is such a open and shut case, such a plain case, and just by reading the synopsis, which would have taken less than 2 or 3 minutes, it was very easy for anyone to understand that this is sacrificing the secrecy which is guaranteed to every voter when they go and cast their vote. And yet, unfortunately, this petition was dismissed without even properly listening to the arguments which my counsel was putting forth. Everything that he was trying to say was just completely snubbed, and the court wasn't even interested to listen to this. I don't want to comment on what were the reasons and other things, but I want to tell you that it is a most unfortunate thing which has happened. What we are doing next, I will inform you. Now it is at least your duty that at least for the next 3 phases of election, you please make a hue and cry. You ask the Election Commission of India that is voter secrecy compromised through this process? Is your vote safe and secure? Let alone is it recorded at cast? That is a separate issue. But the first and foremost, is your vote safe and secure? Every single person who is watching this video, you must please ask this question to the Election Commission of India, and you must make the loudest hue and cry about this. Please share this video as widely as possible so it reaches people across the country, because people don't even seem to be aware of this fact. Fact is that most people who even came up with this entire process and the scheme of EVMs and this way this is designed, even they either were completely oblivious or it has been done intentionally, which needs to be investigated. For now, we have the next phase of election on the 20th. I tried my best that this petition should have been heard right at the start, which was almost more than 2 weeks ago. But today, you need to do something and safeguard your interest if you haven't already voted, or safeguard the interest of people who are yet to vote on the 20th, on the 25th and 1st of June. If I am not making sense, comment and tell me. As far as I am concerned, my lawyers are concerned, we are very convinced that this is a very sound logic and legal argument which should have been heard and which the court should have taken immediate action upon. I have to reach out to you now, and through this, hopefully, together, collectively, we will raise this question to the Supreme Court and the Election Commission of India, asking them to guarantee that your vote, my vote, every citizen's vote is safe and secure.